Good afternoon. Welcome back to Lawyers and Libations with Sarah and Rebecca, episode 13, lucky number 13.
Lucky 13. Welcome back.
We've still, again, been surviving the summer. It kind of feels like this is the longest fucking summer ever.
And it's so hot. Like, I feel like it'd been a relatively mild summer, and then yesterday it was so hot. Well, two things happened. One, I crossed 200,000 miles on my Volvo wagon. So
Did it spontaneously combust?
Well, then it was 110 degrees outside, and so George goes, "Mom, what's wrong with the back door?" And like the leather that's on the inside of the things, it was so hot,
Melted.
It was like sliding.
Ew. No.
Mm-mm. So I'm gonna have to like.
It's time to get a new car. I don't think you need to fix it. I think let's just get a new car.
Well, the au pair, we've got an au pair coming. I don't know if I told you.
Yes.
Super cute.
Where is she from?
She's from Panama. Mm-hmm. She's adorable.
What's her name?
Lourdes.
Lourdes.
I guess I pronounced the S in Spanish.
Yeah.
Like French me keeps calling her Lord.
Lourdes.
Lourdes.
Okay.
She's super cute, so she'll be here in a couple of weeks. So she'll get the Volvo wagon. So I am gonna I don't want the walls to come sliding down. It's still perfectly safe.
I feel like we can, fine, and you know what? But even if the leather does come down, you can it can be like down and then just be like a Hummer, like a military Humvee, and you can just have like the metal walls on the side, just don't let the kids touch it and scald themselves.
And I'm researching on Amazon yesterday. I was like, I'm going to get some spray adhesive. And this roller thing, I think I can roll it all back in place. It'll look perfectly fine.
That's fucking amazing.
Because I need a new car. So I'm like, we can't get two cars at the same
you do.
time.
Yeah, you deserve a new car. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like buying new cars. I'm not going to lie. So
I always buy, you've got to buy the used car. Like you can't buy like a new car. You got to buy it's new to me, a couple years old, because then you miss that automatic $20,000 hit when you drive it off the lot.
It's not that much different. We're looking at it. It's only a $5,000 difference, but the interest rate's higher for the used, so your monthly payments are less. Shockingly, Ryan has run a spreadsheet.
I love that guy. This is good. Then he can help me because I already know what I'm wanting.
Yep. Yeah. Tell him. He'll run out the numbers for you. He'll do it amortization, whatever.
Amortization.
Whatever the table is, where he can tell you what's the best bang for your buck.
Okay, well, I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Well, we have today, everyone is so lucky because you guys just get me and Rebecca for the full time. But we created, this is my favorite drink that I brought in. It is what our friend Sharon has nicknamed the Sarasota. Because it's what I drink every time I go out. Usually, if it's not a bourbon, it's going to be this, which is Tito's soda, 3 limes, or Tito's soda, bunch of lime juice, and just 1 lime's fine.
It's delicious.
It's very refreshing. It is refreshing. Mm-hmm. It's lovely when it's 4,000 degrees outside.
Well, and there's no sugar.
Exactly.
Outside of
this is
juice,
this is the skinny thing where you can drink a few of them and not blow up into a whale.
Right.
I don't
want to hangover. Well.
I mean, mainly no hangover, very limited. It depends on how many you drink. But, yes, limited hangover because not as much sugar. So it's delicious. It's not bad. So this summer so far, I know that we had kind of given everybody a heads up about Auto Torts was coming up. That is where all of the Georgia trial lawyers go down. This year it was in Isle of Palms, right outside of Charleston. And they go and they participate in a conference. And there's lots of learning, but there's usually some sort of fuckery and shenanigans that go on. This year, it's pretty not G-rated. I would say PG-rated for the most part for the turning behavior, but a lot of the staff that comes down and some of the vendors, it is rated X, triple X. Actually, this year, Rebecca, have you heard any rumors about what occurred at Auto Torts?
I have. Well, so we talked about it before. I used to live in Charleston, and I think people don't realize how well-behaved people are in Charleston and that they wear like
seersucker
and Lily Pulitzer, right?
Yes,
like it's not
loafers with no socks.
It's not quite as risque as the Atlanta scene.
No.
So I did hear that there was an Eiffel Tower in the hallway at the resort.
I heard that too. That was caught on camera.
that was caught on camera.
You were the only one. I was the only one who didn't have to Google what an Eiffel Tower was.
I thought I knew what it was, and I ended up being
kind of right. Yeah.
I mean,
It was an aggressive move. I would say that I wouldn't think that you would do that in the hallway. Personally, I would never do it. But if you were to decide to do an Eiffel Tower, it would probably not be in the hallway of a hotel where there are cameras. You fucking exhibitionists.
Or people that you know.
Or, I don't know, other lawyers that refer cases and, judges and some doctors and generally well-respected people that could pass by you in the midst of an Eiffel Tower.
Could you imagine looking out your peephole and saying that?
Jesus Christ. No, thank you.
I would be like, Sarah, speed dial.
Excuse me. I'm going to need you to stop doing that. So I did hear the Eiffel Tower scenario. And then I also heard that there was a girl that just couldn't wait to get back to her room and had to masturbate in the lobby. I don't know what that's about either. That sounds really fucking bizarre. When I heard that it was someone got caught doing that again on camera in the lobby, I immediately thought it was a man because women generally
you were going to say you thought it was me. I was going to be like,
no.
Okay.
No. God, no. I couldn't imagine a woman, I guess, having that insatiable of an appetite that you had to just get it done right then and there. But apparently it was a woman.
Sounds like she was probably thirsty. She needed a little attention.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that. I was just thinking she was super horny and had to rub one out. I don't know, but I have no idea. But sounds like that makes a hell of a lot more sense that she was doing it to get attention and to get the boys to look at her.
Yeah.
Ugh,
yes, ladies. Gross. That does not work.
Not in a lobby.
No, I don't think. Or at least I would like to think that the people that...
Not in a lobby where there's cameras. Again, lawyers walking around, doctors, judges. Crazy. Anyway, so yes, auto torts, there was some fuckery that did ensue. Fortunately, it was none of our friends, and we were all pretty well behaved except for those rumors of shenanigans that went on. We stayed off campus, though. So.
Yeah, it was lovely. I had a great house.
Girls only.
I do wonder if conferences and other industries also run off the rails, right? Like, definitely when you get a group of lawyers together, most of us are pretty intense and outgoing, like drinking. Everybody acts a little bit crazy.
Doctors, yes. Dentists, yes. I think doctors and dentists, yes. Some on commercial real estate. I think some of those guys, I mean, your husband's in commercial real estate, but I know some of those guys.
Ryan says he goes to bed every night early at the one in Vegas, but I just...
I'm going to call bullshit on that. Maybe we could show up unannounced and surprise and see if he's in bed. Yeah, exactly.
There's no way.
No way in hell. I actually don't really like Vegas, as you know that, but I go with you because it's one of your happy places. And I don't go to bed early, and I don't even like Vegas. So, yeah, that motherfucker is not in bed at 11. Absolutely not.
I'm like, then why are you so tired when you get home?
Exactly. Well, because he had so much good beauty rest the entire time. Allegedly. So I think commercial real estate guys, dentists, and doctors. In fact, if anybody out there has gone on those other types of seminars and conferences, we want to hear if y'all's stuff goes off the rail as much as ours does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm willing to bet that the dentist one probably gets
out of control. Well, so remember that time when we were in Vegas and all of the Australians had the engineering thing there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good grief. I mean, they looked like they were having fun.
Mm-hmm. They were so jealous of our VIP sitting.
Well, obviously, because we're women. That's how we get in there. It's the one place we get to jump that line. Bet you it's Vegas.
Ladies in little dresses.
Yes, they're always like, right this way, ladies. Well, only because it brings men in that then buy alcohol and bottle service and stuff. So it's a good business plan. But I would love it if anybody that is in one of those professions or hell, another profession, and you want to tell us any of your stories, we would love to learn about it and talk about it later to see if it's just attorneys. But I would probably say that any group that has a high substance abuse rate, which obviously lawyers do, would have some shenanigans that go on down at a seminar.
And we'll keep it anonymous.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just do like a little rating system. Which one sounds the wildest?
Yes. So send it to us. You can DM us. Mm-hmm. No dick pics, please, though. But
just stories.
But just stories, just fun stories.
Not dick stories.
No, not dicks. Well, I mean, unless they're good and about a conference, and that's fine.
I just meant like not the post
the
like
stories.
Tag in the story.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. But yes, if you can send it to us, we would be thrilled to discuss it.
Yeah.
And so then I did go on my long-awaited Glacier National Park Dude Ranch trip.
Oh, how was it?
With Adeline. It was possibly the most amazing trip that I've been on. And that says something because I really enjoy traveling. But as far as recharging your batteries, you go to a dude ranch and you do 2-hour horseback rides every day and whitewater rafting and shooting. Like we did target shooting, all things. Adeline did a 12 gauge. She was not fucking impressed by that at all. She was like, that hurt like shit.
It hurts like crazy.
I had a huge bruise on my arm from it, like you do after you go shooting. So it was black and blue there, but it was so wonderful. I will say there were not a lot of dudes at the Dude Ranch.
I was about to ask if you met your own personal rep.
Did not. My horse's name was Dutton, though, however. And a friend of mine, Charlotte, I met this mother-daughter duo from London that were fantastic. Charlotte and her daughter, who was 16. And we had the best time. Rosa, that was the daughter's name. And so Charlotte took a picture of me shooting pool against the one dude wrangler who was there, Manny, who was this French guy. And we both had like cowboy hats on, and I whooped his ass at pool because that's what I enjoy doing, is emasculating.
So was he cute? Tell me about this Manny. Hello.
Yeah, he was cute. He was absolutely precious. But
do you think he was smooching on the other ladies there or like guests? I'm sure that there's like a guest policy.
I had heard that he had a girlfriend.
Okay.
He was making some innuendos a little bit on one of the evenings, and Adeline looked like she was going to punch him in the crotch region. And so, anyway, he was a lovely person. He was so nice and cute. But the point of all of that is that if you are a single dad with girls or boys or whatever, go to this dude ranch because all of the wranglers are women. All of them. And they're like, I mean, granted, they're young women. They're like anywhere from like 24 to 28 probably. But they're all stunning, and they're from like Australia and New Zealand and England. So they all come with accents, and they can handle a horse, to put it lightly.
Well, before you sales pitch it for all these single dads to take their kids, maybe we should turn this into like, we'll have some applications to see who the best dads are. And you can also be on there. It could be like a bachelorette scenario.
Oh, God, no.
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 Cute, hot dads.
I mean, that does sound fun. Yes, that would not be a bad time. We could work on that. Adeline gets she's very protective of her mom. So she doesn't like it when, if she's there, boys make any sort of friendly comments towards me at all. Really, she's like, I'll fucking cut your throat if you look at my mom again, which is, fair and very endearing and precious, but it really puts a damper on meeting any cute boys.
Well, maybe we make like the Adeline stage like a part of the process.
I feel like this is setting her up for really a large amount of therapy as she gets older. But they would have to run the gauntlet with Adeline, is what you're saying. Yeah. God bless their souls.
She'd cut them all, though. They'd be done.
I mean, they would be done. She would be like, you're out. I'm sorry. You're done. Get out of here.
And she would also not hold back on it. Like, it wouldn't be like, I'm so sorry.
No, she'd be like, listen, I don't like the tone of your voice. It's a little too feminine. You're fucking out. Like she would cut it for those reasons. Yes, then they would need therapy. You don't ever want to be brought emotionally to your knees by an 11-year-old that does not give a fuck. So I would feel badly for them. I don't know that we could put them through it, but maybe, who knows? We can definitely flesh that one out. But we did do Glacier as well.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So it was fucking stunning, and we did this 5.5-mile hike to Avalanche Lake where my entire family thought I was dead. You received one of those phone calls, didn't you, Rebecca?
My God.
So just as a brief precursor to this, if you go anywhere within 45 minutes of Glacier National Park, you lose service. Just before you even get into the fucking park, right? And then the park is huge. It takes 2.5, 3 hours to drive the Going of the Sun Road. So to get anywhere, it's an hour and a half in Glacier National Park for these hikes. So you've been out of pocket for at least 2.5 hours. So by the time we finally got service coming back out at like 9:30 at night, my phone was dead because it had been looking for service for hours while we hiked. But Adeline's phone got 2 tings, one from Katie, which is our head paralegal at the office, and one from Rebecca saying, "Hi, sweet girl. Can you have your mommy call me? People are worried about you guys." So what exactly was the fuckery that went on?
Well, just so you know, this is to kind of like set the stage for what happened on our end. So we're in Atlanta. We have no kids. So we didn't have kids for a week and a half. And so we'd been going to nice restaurants, and it was our last night, and I had never seen Braveheart.
And you're watching Braveheart?
Watching Braveheart.
Fucking such a great movie.
Yes, I'm like, I didn't even know it was
you're
a
like,
love story.
Oh, you're sobbing.
Oh my God, it's so good. And my phone starts blowing up, and it's Katie. And Katie, and when Katie gets something like in her head, like she can't let it go, and she's like, "Have you heard from Sarah?" And I go, "No, Sarah's on vacation.
Sarah's in Glacier National Park. She's fine."
Yeah, hopefully Sarah's not thinking about work on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, she and Adeline are missing. Her mother has not heard from them, and
we were not
worried."
fucking missing.
Well, and I go, "I think that they're hiking." And she goes, "Well, no one's heard from them all day." So Sarah and I do track each other's locations to make sure no one gets kidnapped. Mm-hmm. And I look and I go, I mean, she was last sighted on her phone
going
5
in
hours. Well, it just showed up like on this little street. Tink. And I go, I don't know. I'm really not that worried about it. No one, if a bear or a criminal or anyone confronted the two of them, Sarah and Adeline would kill them. Like there's
100%.
Like y'all
I'm not going I'm not going into the woods unprepared. We had a fucking
kill a
hammock.
Bear. Yeah, I was like, I feel like she probably has. She might be packing heat, or at minimum have bear spray.
Oh, I had bear spray and bear horn.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not that worried about it. So then my phone continues to blow up during Braveheart. I'm like,
was Ryan like, I'm going to fucking kill her?
Ryan goes, Sarah is fine. I need everyone to calm down.
Ryan is correct.
So I text Katie and I go, Katie, I'm 99% sure that she's fine. Mm-hmm. Now, in the back of my head, I did start panicking, and I was like, something did happen to her.
Oh, no.
And I'm just watching Braveheart.
Yeah, you do spiral whenever you get something in your head.
It's like when I'm just sitting here watching Braveheart, shrugging off the fact that she, just fell off the cliff.
She's been murdered. Yeah.
So I did think that's how I was very relieved when I heard from Adam.
We were good. Yes, I called you right whenever we got service. So what had happened was we drove into the park a little bit after 3 o'clock because you have to get a reservation. So we drove into the park, and it took an hour and a half to get to this Avalanche Lake hike, which is 5.5 miles. And I'd already had a conversation with my brother, and he had said, do not, with your ACL recent repair of a year ago, do not go and start a hike like that at 5 o'clock at night. It's stupid. Don't do it. And I was like, that makes perfect sense. You know what? I'm not going to do it. But then we got there, and it took a fucking hour and a half to drive there. I wasn't going to do it the next day again to go right back to the spot. Yeah. Fuck that. No.
YOLO.
Yeah, YOLO. There were a lot of people like turning up from this little walk that we were doing, like to go Avalanche Lake. I was like, Adeline, how are you feeling? You want to fucking do this? She goes, yeah, let's do this. I said, perfect. So we set off on this hike. It was beautiful. We had the best time. We were like singing songs and having all these great conversations and dying laughing. And like, so we come out of there, and it's now like 7:15, which is 9:15 your time, right? And so we've been out of pocket for 5 hours or so, around there. But we went to Lake McDonald Lodge, and I said, hey, can we get your Wi-Fi? I mean, I ordered Adeline a steak, and I got a cocktail, so it's not like I'm doing it for free. But can we get your Wi-Fi? Because we've been out of pocket. Her dad's going to lose his shit if he doesn't hear from us.
Gotta check in.
And so the girl at the like little front desk, she goes, we can't give you the Wi-Fi because you're not staying here. And I was like, bitch, I'm going to cut your throat. But
I mean, does it cost money?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And I bought a steak. So God damn it, just give me the Wi-Fi, right? It's not like I bought like a Shirley Temple. Yeah. Give me the Wi-Fi. And so
like I got a Sarasota.
Yeah, exactly.
And a
I did.
I
think I got a double bourbon. It might have been 2. I'm not really sure. It was a long hike. So Adeline, I send her, the lady says, no, but you can use my phone. I go, okay. So I go, Adeline, go call your dad. She comes back in 5 minutes later, back to the restaurant. And she goes, Mom, Dad wants to talk to you right now. Everybody thought we were dead. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I go like back there and he goes, Sarah, I've been on the phone with your dad. I've been on the phone with your mom. We've been on the phone with Rebecca. Everybody had called, like all my sisters. Fortunately, my sisters were the only ones who were calm. Besides you were also like, I'm pretty sure she's fine.
Fine. She's a survivalist.
That's what they said. The sisters go, it's Sarah. She's gonna be fine. Nothing's happening to her in the woods ever. I'm like, Dad, I grew up in the woods. You took me on fucking hikes all the time growing up. I grew up camping. My nickname is the Fire Master on starting fires. Like, we're okay. We're fine. Yeah. So anyway, they lost their shit. I had to call my dad. My dad had gotten my second youngest sister to get the sheriff's phone number because they were going to send the Montana Sheriff's Department near Glacier National Park and park rangers just into the park willy-nilly. Not fucking, they have no idea what car I'm driving. They don't know where we were. They don't know anything. I was like, well, Dad, how in the fuck were you going to go look at every parking lot? Do you know what rental car I have or what company I got it from? And he was like, no.
So who do you think whooped up the energy?
My mom.
Okay.
It was definitely Grandma Jules. She lost her fucking mind. She immediately, her head goes into dark places and we're very close. We talked twice a day and we hadn't talked that day.
Yeah.
Right. So, she thought that we were done. When I actually talked to my stepmother who was on the phone with my mom, like for hours that night, hours.
Oh, poor Grandma Jules.
I mean, it was so bad, but Terry said, basically, your mom thought you'd been raped by a bear. I was like, not raped by a bear.
That never happened to anyone.
Terrible.
Do they even have penises? I guess so.
I think
They're
they
mammals.
do. I don't know. I've actually watched a lot of nature channels. I don't think I've ever seen a bear mate.
I might Google.
I know. Now we're going to have to. Oof. Anyway, I was not raped by a bear, and we were completely fine. And we had the best day and the most fun hike. And then we also hiked Hidden Trail Lake, which is, the problem with Hidden Trail is that it's just fucking uphill the entire time. And it's got it's all like kind of on a gangplank thing, so like wood slats that you're walking so you don't like mess up the tundra, and lots of stairs. And I don't know if you've seen that meme or it's like a reel or something, and it's a guy who's doing a hike and he zooms in and he's like, fuck. And he comes around the corner and he's like, fuck, there's more? Jesus Christ. And like he kept doing that, and then he gets to the top and he goes, oh wow, that's beautiful. That's what I did. So I actually made some of those reels while I was doing it because I was cracking up. That. It was really, really funny. So it was also a very beautiful hike, and it had been shut down for 6 weeks beforehand due to bear activity because they had a lot of fish that were coming into the lake. So we were lucky that we got to do it because I'd have been pissed if I would have gotten to the top and they're like, I'm sorry, you can't go any further because there's bears.
And is that the lake that was that really pretty, like crystal blue color?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. So anyway, the beautiful, highly recommend when you're going to the Sun Road, which starts on West Glacier and then goes out to St. Mary's. It looks like Logan Pass, which is where the Highline Trail cuts through. It looks like you're in the Alps, like Swiss, French Alps. Everything's green, huge mountains, but it was so refreshing and lovely. So I now have a goal that I would like to, when Adeline goes to college, if I don't move and live with her there to make sure she's okay, I might get like 2 horses and go out in the woods and ride a bunch. That's my new plan.
Do it.
I think we need to do that every year because usually when I come home from vacations, I hide in my bed for about a day or so to just recover and try not to fucking kill myself from being back at home and dealing with work and all the things. But this time I was like, let's crush it. Let's go in and do it. It was very rejuvenating. So 5 stars, highly recommend Glacier. And then the Dude Ranch that I was at is a place called 3 Bars Dude Ranch, and it is in Cranbrook, Canada. And it was beautiful and lovely, and the horses were great.
And so did y'all fly from Montana up there, or did you fly into Montana?
We drove. Yeah. Okay. So if you fly into Glacier National Park Airport, which is right by Whitefish, it's a 2.5 hour drive straight north across the Canadian border into Cranbrook. we did the Going to the Sun Road, which is 2.5 hours through Glacier National Park, which then puts you over at St. Mary's, which is the eastern side. And then it was a 4.5 hour drive on top of that. And we did a 2.5 hour hike in between it. So that day that we traveled to Cranbrook sucked. We also went through a bunch of those wildfires.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking horrendous. Yeah, it was really bad. But highly recommend anybody to go on a dude ranch. Very rejuvenating. Don't go there looking for dudes. Chances are it's going to be a bunch of female wranglers that are badass. Great mentors for your daughters
like good
and
girl
kids.
Energy.
Yes, it was. So anyway, I think we should do that as like a partnership retreat.
I love that.
Yes.
I'm in.
Yes.
I love horses.
I love it. Yes, Adeline will obviously have to join us. We can bring Hey too. But that was a great summer experience. But I know that we had talked a little bit before about funny shit that we had on the World Wide Web with some of the shit going viral and people making comments on the reels. So I thought that I would read some of these out to you.
Okay.
But so I call it like the heroes and villains of the World Wide Web.
You know, and before you do it, it is, you and I were joking about it this morning when we were preparing for today, but the balls that people get while
Keyboard
either
warriors,
emailing,
baby.
yeah, like a lot with emails, particularly like in the legal community. Like I'll get an email from somebody, I'll be like, you wouldn't say that to me on the phone.
No, that's when I pick it up and I call and go fuck yourself.
But it's the same thing with comments. I'm like, people are mean. It's like our old, bathroom walls have now become.
I don't think that I don't think that they figured out that they're doing it wrong, right? If you're watching reels correctly, you should have taken a half gummy or a full gummy, maybe with one cocktail, and then an hour and a half later, watching the reels and dying laughing where you have tears streaming down your face. That's when you're doing that job correctly. It's if you are full of such like vitriolic hatred towards people you don't know. Like, are you that pissed off when you're scrolling?
I just scroll. If I don't like something, I just
keep scrolling by.
I go to something better.
No way. You mean you can actually keep scrolling by?
It's just a little swipe.
So I decided to compose some of the, again, we had some keyboard warriors that were complete assholes. And then we had some amazing heroes that jumped to the defense and really fucking went after some of these people, which was amazing. So I compiled a little list, which I'm now blind and I can't see anything anymore. There was a guy who commented on one of our things that said, nasal whining. like you're kind of a dick. I don't know. I can't change my voice. If it hurts your feelings that it's nasally, then scroll the fuck on. Maybe.
I just don't think you're nasally.
Thank you.
Both nasally.
No, you've got that sexy porn voice.
Well, somebody called me after our podcast started and said I had vocal fry. I just fried right there.
I don't know what that means.
When you do that, it's like the...
Who said that?
Jackass from law school.
Dude, I'll whoop that kid's ass. You don't have vocal fry, and it sounds like he's compensating for a small penis.
Right.
So there. So we had somebody else say they look like Ivana Trump's first cousins.
I'm like, is that good or bad?
I don't know what they look like. God, I hope they're cute blondes. Who knows? After the episode where you talked about George jumping out the window because he didn't get his Lucky
Charms.
Lucky Charms. Yeah, that little bastard. This guy goes, amazing how unprepared modern women are these days. Mentally immature and underdeveloped. Can't cope with anything. I was like, listen, you fucking twat. Like, nobody has time for your shit. You're definitely compensating for a small time.
Right?
Oh, 100%. Oh, hey, Rich, did you actually write that while your wife was making you a pie?
Right. I feel like he probably did nothing to help his wife raise their children.
No,
if I had to guess.
No. There was one where this one woman who was definitely a boomer said, don't need all the cursing. One would think a lawyer has a better vocabulary. To which people jumped down her fucking throat and eviscerated poor Patricia. She said, when did the big bad curse words hurt you? Please tell us so we can help. Exposure therapy is a good fucking start. Somebody else said, off-duty lawyers have to get all their swears out before they go back to work. true, unless you work at our office, and I continue to cuss there. We had somebody else. You're surprised that one of the fields with the highest degree of substance abuse in the whole wide world uses no words? Really?
No words.
Yeah. Then there's people who cuss actually have higher intelligence and a larger vocabulary than those who don't. Mentally, we regulate feelings and emotions better as well. I'm sure you would know that if you had any fucking flavor in your sentences or your food. Have the day you deserve with your judgmental bullshit.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
I like that.
Yeah, so we had, people got pissed. Somebody told her to go back to her sewing. Then I had Sue, why don't you say the F word one more time? Real pro here. I was like, God. Oh, another guy, can you speak without saying fuck? You're supposed to be an educated person. But people lost their minds. They go, educated people say fuck. You haven't stepped foot in a law firm. A client jokingly told me fuck is in Black's Law Dictionary. You would never make this comment to a man. Smile more, sweetie. I was like,
very true.
God, I love you. This was another Patricia who was just so lovely. And then fuck the fucking people fucking complaining about her fucking saying fuck. Fucking seriously, get a fucking life. Cursing's a sign of large vocabularies. And then Kayla came in for the top rope jump off, who says the amount of middle-aged men mad about her saying fuck is actually hilarious. Grow the fuck up. Smile.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were, but I think what we'll do next time is I'm going to compile them and I'm going to let you read the ones that are about you, and then you can find ones about me, much like, the Jimmy Fallon thing where he does that. Because I was like, I know you weren't talking about Rebecca when you called me whine. No, what is it? Nasally. Whiny.
Nasal whine.
Ugh, rude.
That is rude.
I can't fix that, you asshat. Anyway, maybe they should listen to the podcast instead of just looking at the reels.
Right? No, I agree.
So yes, so that has been our summer so far. What else do you have?
Not much. Everybody's back in school.
Right.
Hallelujah. At least for me. I know that you're still waiting. My last kid went back to school today. So I'm just navigating all the carpool and working.
Oh, no. The traffic's back. That's what that
God,
means.
it's awful.
It's fucking terrible.
It took me forever to get here today.
Yeah,
so it's like just add 30 minutes to everything you want to do in Atlanta now.
Every single thing
Everybody's
that you want
back.
to do in Atlanta. Yeah, it's bad. Well, I know on our next episode that's coming up, we will have gone to the Beyonce concert. We went to Beyonce, going to Beyonce. I go a different night than you, just tragically sad. We'll be doing that. And then we also have some questions from our listeners, podcast watchers, listeners, whatever they are.
I guess both, depending on if you're a YouTuber or if you're a Spotify,
Apple Podcast people.
Yep. We've got some good questions. So definitely, if you ever have any questions, legal or otherwise,
we've been compiling them so we could address them. Yeah. We're probably more fun answering the otherwise ones, but we can actually give good legal advice.
Yeah, law's important too.
So you can ask us for that. But thank you for joining us for episode 13. We've survived it again. I was not raped by a bear. Praise Jesus. Woo. Hallelujah.
That would have been
messy
and interesting for you to describe.
I'm just going to say messy, probably. I wouldn't want any part of that. But I don't know. Adeline's really violent. I feel like she would have fought the bear off for me. So
I knew y'all were okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank God, because again, my sisters were like, it's fucking Sarah. If it were somebody else, we could be worried. But like,
she's good.
She good. We did joke that Adeline, we had a hammock in our backpack, which my backpack was huge and had all the things needed in it, but that they would have found us the next morning. Adeline would have been asleep in the hammock. I would have been like hanging out, like, I don't know, cooking some skinned snake or something like over the fire.
Oh, God.
Anyway, it would have been fine. We would have been good.
Well, cheers. Welcome home.
Thank you. Here's
so
coming up to
back.
the end of the summer. Missed your face. And we'll see you guys for episode 14. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.